Hi, I'm Darryl Learie, and this video is about the real flaw of porn. Yes, the real fundamental problem of porn. Did you know 75% of people get their sexual education from porn? I'll tell you what's wrong with this picture first. When porn is produced from what looks sexually good for the camera. It's not produced in terms of what feels good for the two people involved. So if you listen to interviews of people who acted in porn or participated in porn, they'll tell you that many positions they've taken tend to be very uncomfortable positions. Also, porn in itself is not realistic to the true nature of sex. Men in porn have very commonly used Viagra and other stimulating drugs to maintain an erection, because no erection, that means time lost in the day for production. So for the man to maintain an erection is critically important, because time is money and money is time. So, but another big fallacy of porn is the primitive theme of porn in itself, in that the girl performs fellatio on the man, you know, this sucking dick, whatever you want to call it, till the man gets hard, and then he does her usually from behind, and then usually ejaculates on her face. Okay, so what we're missing in what we call sex, or people's education of sex, is touching, caressing,
time to get here, Ashley.
hugging, holding, all these things that are part of
Are you ready to go?
the emotional bonding
He's making a video.
that comes with sex, foreplay, even the afterplay. So, porn is primarily marketed as a get-off drug, and so it's usually done in short clips with very short one-liners, you know, pick-up lines that open up the plot to sexual engagement. The characters are usually deemed quite flat. They have their only personality is a personality of sexual frustration and release and get off. And what eventually happens is that people develop fetishes from what they experience. When they can't get off to one type of porn, then this porn subdivides all these fetishes. You know, whether it's pregnant women having sex, or it's old women having sex, or whether it's, you know, midgets having sex, or you know, all these type of things. So it becomes really a get-off drug that lasts for about 5 to 7 months, and what really interrupts. So when people get tired of one particular flavor, as it would be of this get-off drug, then they seek another, what seems to be more taboo, like gonzo porn and this type of thing. The basic relaying message of porn in any porn plot is basically the theme that if it feels good, just do it. There is no emotional consequences, such as feeling used or partaking in something you aren't emotionally prepared to take part in, you know. Another bad thing about porn in itself is now just trying to get my frame of mind, because Ashley here has been trying to make funny faces and trying to make me smile through this production. So if you see me smiling, this is why. Another symptomatic problem of porn is this ideology of harder, faster, stronger is better. So people begin to, in other words, seek the more extreme form of a porn drug, which turns to be more aggressive sex. So harder sex, you know, so this is where you get like double penetration, you know, so that's really where the focus comes in. It's just, a lot of it is focused towards a male audience. You know, that's, domination comes in, you know, people want to see, men want to see, you know, some bodybuilder just give it to a girl real hard and see that girl crying or whatever the deal may be. Faster, stronger, harder, more extreme. Which, if you have a genuine sexual relationship in the bedroom, this is not the healthiest attitude to have. Because sex in itself represents that natural boundary that makes a couple exclusive. So something that this couple in itself shares together. Porn could be a lot better if it wasn't so fetishized. If it didn't just largely focus on an 18 to 25-year-old audience. If it challenged true themes, like where a plot was thick and meaningful, like the challenges that a couple might face if one was several years younger than the other, you know, and how the sex would disrupt or promote that relationship, or how those two different people would sense that relationship. I mean, in a way that would challenge people to think a little bit differently. I don't particularly see the harm in that type of porn, but you really can't find it. You know, another challenging theme might be too the pickup. You know, when people sleep with two strangers and the emotional consequence that may come up with that is people become stupid when it comes to sex, because they think, well, okay, all I have to worry about is STDs and pregnancy, but they don't think about the emotional costs. And the emotional costs can be quite high. You know, sometimes people could feel certain emotional attachments during the act, especially during the so-called no strings attached type thing, and then you could possibly potentially introduce obsessive behaviors or infatuations or relationships that are strictly based on sex. And so it really, sex in itself really has to be defined as an intimate and bonding experience of kissing, cuddling, hugging, holding, looking, smelling, you know, tasting. It can't be the, you know, strictly based on the getting off. You know, if a relationship has too much priority on the sex part itself, especially the getting off part, then you run into problems where people begin to complain about, you know, penis size, and people trying to be able to hold their erections, and this type of thing. It's far more taboo for an older adult like myself, 38 years old, to comment on a teenager being sexy. But it's far more appropriate to say, well, they look pretty, they look cute, or you know, they look beautiful in certain occasions, grad, whatever. So it's that division that within appropriateness we say, yeah, you look sexy. You know, once we reach that legal age, then we start saying, yeah, that person looks sexy, you know, that person starts looking hot, you know. So there's always that implication. And then of course with the whole porn industry is, I mean, the high incidences of suicide, you know. You know, there's a lot of porn actors have committed suicide. So, but yeah, that is pretty much my dictatorial on why current porn is hugely flawed, fundamentally flawed, and why it only serves to damage society. It's gone on its own way. It's lost the interpretive meaning of the whole compass, the whole spectrum of what is sex. And it focuses on a very small margin, the physical margin. Forget spiritual, forget emotional, just physical. Forget psychological, just physical. And it only focuses on the physical act, the getting off, the orgasm, the coming, you know, the ejaculating. So even within that physical, it's just very minute. So, and yet 75% of people get their sex education from porn. Read a book, people. Seriously. So, all in all, I don't think the concept of porn is necessarily a bad thing, but I think the entire porn industry has to be reconstructed into far more healthier construct. You know, in such a way that it truly does challenge people. Not challenge people in the form of like, oh, the first porn actress to bang 15 guys and the first porn actress to, you know, do double penetration, or, you know, like, I mean, again, this is just the whole extreme. You know, it's just, you see that in parties too, especially among young people. You know, the more damage during a party, the more extreme the party becomes, the better the party was. You know, they'll say, oh, now that was a party. You know, when 10 cop cars come to a party, you know, now that was a party. You know, this idea that the more extreme something is, the better it was, you know. It's not right, people. It's not right. So, that's it. Later.